Hi, hello cuties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jer, and today we are doing yet another battle bracket style video where we are going to be talking about one of my absolute favorite desserts of all time, which is ice cream. I love ice cream, and this particular bracket was the one that was most appealing to me, and we are using Bracket Finder yet again. I don't know what y'all's favorite ice cream is, but I have endless amounts of ice cream. I really wanted this video to be a Ben & Jerry's video where we talked about all of the different Ben & Jerry's flavors, but that did not happen. So we're just gonna do some regular old ice cream, and it looks like a lot of these are kinds that you might find at an ice cream truck, which is even better. I miss that nostalgia of hearing the ice cream person coming by and then you and everybody goes running to try and get the ice cream person. I also realized I don't need these in. So without further ado, let's jump into this bracket, starting out with one of the great American tragedies ever to happen, which is the Choco Taco. And not that the Choco Taco was an American tragedy, but that it disappeared, versus a snow cone. Both of these are literally my entire childhood. If you've never had a Choco Taco, as most people haven't, it's a waffle cup that's been folded like a taco. And then you put the ice cream in the middle, and then there's a layer of chocolate over the top with nuts, and it's everything. It's one of the best things in the entire universe, and I do believe it's coming back very soon. Snow cone is literally just ice that's been shaved and chipped with sugar on it. And you know what? I do love a snow cone, and looking at this, I can taste it. Like, I'm literally getting flashes to being at the local town center where they had snow cones all the time, and I can even taste the paper cup that it came with, because at the very end a lot of it's melted at the bottom and you get the juice, so you fold the paper and then you shoot it back, right? And that paper had such a distinct flavor to it, and I can even taste it looking at it. But I'm gonna go with a Choco Taco because Choco Taco is superior. Next we have a dipped cone. This looks a lot like the kind that they serve at like a Dairy Queen, versus sherbet is what I can only assume this is. Sherbet is fine to me. I do believe some people call it sherbet. What is the correct spelling? I guess sherbet is a thing. Sherbet is a British thing. Don't know how it made it to my side of the woods, but I'm gonna go with a chocolate dipped cone. Sherbet's fine. Whatever, it's fine. Next we have specifically a SpongeBob ice cream, which when I was a kid, these had little gumballs as eyes, and I've been told those are not gumballs anymore. I've been told that these are chocolates, which I don't have a problem with, but the gumballs were everything because they'd be so hard and you'd like crack your teeth trying to chew through those frozen ass gumballs, versus what looks to be like lemon sorbet. I like lemon sorbet. That's the problem that we're facing here. You know what? If this was Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls, I would choose the character ice cream, but I do really like lemon sorbet. And as I've gotten older, my taste buds have really acclimated towards citric flavors, so I'm gonna go with that. Next up, we have a ice cream sandwich classic, delicious. Don't know why more people don't love an ice cream sandwich, versus just a plain old chocolate bar where you've got the ice cream in the middle, tempered chocolate on the outside. I can taste both of these. I will be honest, I went through this long phase for years where I was just buying ice cream sandwiches from the grocery store, because you could buy them in like big packs, and I don't do it anymore, but I would, so I'm gonna go with an ice cream sandwich. Next up we have plain old vanilla is what this looks like, versus I'm gonna guess that these are Otter Pops. If you've never had an Otter Pop, I'm telling you, you're missing out. Otter Pops are essentially what a snow cone was. It's chipped ice that's been dyed and flavored. You've got the, from the left, cherry, blue raspberry, I believe that was strawberry, green apple, orange, and then at the very end is grape. Grape and green apple were the best. I think that might not even have been cherry. That may have been fruit punch. They had little characters on the front of them, and these were everything. In my elementary school, they used to give Otter Pops out all the time. Like if your class did well on a test or on a quiz, they'd give you Otter Pops. If you were well behaved while waiting in line for lunch, they'd give you Otter Pops. But also I grew up in the desert, so we needed to have something to cool us down all the time, and I think this was probably one of the easiest things that they could do. I really love Otter Pops to this day, and if I knew that they wouldn't go bad so quickly, because I just don't eat frozen stuff as much as I would like to, I would be buying Otter Pops all the time, but I know that they would end up going bad before I finish them all. So we're gonna go with Otter Pops. Next we have an ice cream sandwich, which has just like just a cookie ice cream sandwich. It's very different than the chocolate one from earlier. It's a very different experience because that cookie is dense, right? It's a dense piece of chocolate chip cookie because it's meant to not melt or get soggy when you put the ice cream on the inside. And then those chocolate chips they put on the outside get so hard, they like break your teeth. And then on the right, it looks like butter pecan, which I never liked as a kid, but I've gotten to appreciate it a whole lot more as I've gotten older. And I did move through the ice cream sandwich earlier. This particular ice cream sandwich is such a different scenario because that cookie is so dense. So I am gonna go with butter pecan, and I don't want to hear a word about it. Next up, we have an orange creamsicle versus a fudge sickle. This is not a contest, a question, or a debate. It's fudge sickle. I don't want to hear anything about it. Next we have a strawberry shortcake bar versus yet another frozen ice cream treat. This is a Klondike bar. Now, a Klondike bar is really not that different from the ice cream that's dipped in chocolate on a stick that we pushed through earlier, but I've never liked the strawberry shortcake bars. Something about it always just was a little bit too intense of a flavor to me, and that strawberry just was so sickly sweet. And I mean, how do you forget the "what would you do for a Klondike bar" logo, which I actually have not heard in years, so I don't know if they even make those commercials anymore. But what would you do for a Klondike bar? It used to be on every other commercial. So I'm gonna go with Klondike for the branding and the messaging. We now jump into round 2, which is Choco Taco versus a chocolate dipped cone. I'm afraid to say it, this might be the winner of the whole thing. This round belongs to the Choco Taco. Lemon sorbet versus ice cream sandwich. I'm gonna go with ice cream sandwich. Lemon sorbet is delicious, but I would choose an ice cream sandwich any day of the week. Between Otter Pop and butter pecan, some people say pecan. I go back and forth between pecan and pecan. I am going to choose, very unpopularly, Otter Pops. Next we have a fudge bar versus a Klondike bar, and you know, branding aside, Klondikes are delicious, but they're really not that different from a lot of other chocolatey treats, where a fudge bar just has this very distinctly fake chocolate flavor that is so rancid and vile, but I, for some reason, love it. And it's icy in its own weird way. The texture is like biting through soft ice. I can't explain what that is. That could be freezer burn from this being improperly frozen, but every fudge bar has tasted exactly the same. So, you know what? I'm gonna go with a fudge bar. Even though that seems like a weird reason to choose it, I'm going with it. Now into round 3 between Choco Taco and an ice cream sandwich. This is actually quite difficult for me because I do love both of these, but we had a great American tragedy where we lost the Choco Taco, and I don't want to live in a world that doesn't have it, so I'm pushing that one through. Next up, we have Otter Pops versus a fudge sickle, and God, I want both of these. My eye goes to the fact that for Otter Pops, you have multiple different flavors. So if you don't like or are not feeling in the mood for one, you could choose another flavor. You could say, I'm not in the mood for blue raspberry today. I'm gonna go with fruit punch or strawberry or grape or orange or whatever. So you got variety in here, right? That is one thing that my brain is calling towards right now. But a fudge sickle is so good. That texture is something that I crave all the time. I think I'm gonna go with Otter Pop because of the variety. And I'm gonna live to regret this decision because the very next thing that it goes against is a Choco Taco, and this is my childhood, both of these things. Love Choco Tacos. I would get them all the time if they had them with the ice cream person, but we always had Otter Pops at school and at home. And again, I don't want to live in a world that doesn't have Choco Tacos, but I don't want to live in a world where I completely sidearm Otter Pops after just having hyped them up so bad with all the variety. Even though I really think probably my favorite ice cream in the world is probably either peanut butter ice cream or a Choco Taco, I do really like an Otter Pop. This is really hard. I just don't know if I can sacrifice Choco Taco, so I have to pick it. Now we move to the right side, which is plain old classic chocolate versus Oreo ice cream, or cookies and cream. It's not Oreo ice cream. Cookies and cream is a superior ice cream flavor, okay? But so is just plain chocolate. If this was Rocky Road, if this was fudge brownie, if this was devil's chocolate, double chocolate, I could maybe settle with chocolate, but I mean, cookies and cream, man. All right, so next we have a Bomb Pop is what this specific branding is versus what I can only imagine is Rocky Road, because I see marshmallow bits and I see chocolate bits. It's Rocky Road for me, and if you've never had Rocky Road ice cream, girl, you are missing out. This is it. Next we have, what is this? It looks good. Some type of striped chocolate ice cream with what appears to be nuts in it. So this is not Rocky Road because that almost looks like the same type of texture that you would see in cookies and cream. This to me looks like Moose Tracks. I might be right. The Google searches are a little bit inconclusive because, I mean, some of these look like that. This is absolutely Moose Tracks. Okay, never mind. I've changed my answer. This is 100% Moose Tracks versus, God, what is that? It looks disgusting. I don't even want to pick it. That might be mint, like a really messed up mint ice cream. When it is dyed blue, I'm no longer interested. This very likely is peppermint ice cream, but there's no mint on the side, so I'm left confused. This is not sherbet because it was already presented on this bracket. And I mean, it could just be peppermint. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Moose Tracks because that's a better ice cream to me. Next up, we have an ice cream cone, which appears to have something in it, but the photo quality is a little low Q. So I'm having a hard time discerning what that is, but I do love a sugar cone. I do love those a lot. Versus a variety pack of drumsticks. We got chocolate vanilla and vanilla caramel. I have to go with the drumsticks because it's a variety pack. How do you have 3 options of ice cream versus 1? There's no way to choose that. It's the same way with Otter Pops. When you have variety of products, it's hard to compare it to something else because you have variety. So, variety pack of drumsticks. Next we have, God, is this just like plain chocolate chip ice cream? But it looks like there's some type of browning that's in here from, what is this? It could just be regular old chocolate chip versus strawberry ice cream, which I fuck with strawberry ice cream, especially when you got those big thick chunks of freeze-dried strawberry. I'm going with that one. I'm not even debating. Next we have what I can only assume is Italian ice because it's in that classic white cup, that styrofoam white cup. Italian ice is very good. It's a smoother, richer type of ice cream, which I know people are gonna eat me alive for saying that, but it's essentially that. It's not much different to me than ice cream. It's just richer and creamier. It's very good. Versus a frozen Snickers ice cream bar. Snickers ice cream bars are mwah. I'm not even debating this. Don't eat me alive in the comments. I don't care. Now we have real mint chip. Okay, so that one earlier had to have been peppermint. Versus, what is this? Some type of fudge bar, because there's the center chocolate core with the vanilla around it and then nuts. The peanuts look very good. I would love to eat those peanuts. But as I've gotten older, I've appreciated mint chip so much. I could literally shovel gallons of mint chip in my mouth at any given time. And now I wish I lived closer to an ice cream parlor because I would be visiting all the time and getting different ice cream. So I'm gonna go with mint chip because I've learned to appreciate it as I've gotten older. It was one of those flavor profiles that the mintiness and the chocolate and the sweetness of the ice cream never really meshed well in a unique harmony in my mouth, but now that I'm older, I appreciate it and I like it better. And while I do love nuts, especially in my mouth, I don't know if I want those. Next, we have a ice cream cone, classic delicious ice cream cone versus a push pop. Or it's called push up. When I was a kid, these were called push pops. These are so good. Or maybe push pops were the candies. Now my wires are getting crossed. Those are really good. I really like those a lot. And I mean, plain chocolate ice cream is nice, but like, come on, we've already had a couple chocolate representations. I don't have a lot of fruit flavor on this right side. I'm gonna push that one through. Next up, we have classic delicious cookies and cream versus Rocky Road. I gotta give it to Rocky Road, I think, even though I really want to give it to cookies and cream. I think my hesitation with pushing cookies and cream through to the next one is that cookies and cream can sometimes be a little milky in taste, which is not a problem, but Rocky Road has those really soft pieces of marshmallow, and I think the texture journey is nice, where sometimes I get a little bored with the monotony of cookies and cream, and especially sometimes you can get those long swaths of bites where you're only getting crumbles of cookie, and then you get that one where it's just like a big ass chunk of cookie, and it feels like you dug for treasure at that point, like you struck gold, but then you have to drudge through all the rest of the boring pieces of ice cream to find another good chunk of chocolate, and you never have to worry about that with Rocky Road. You've always got a unique experience on your spoon. Going with that. Next up, we have Moose Tracks versus the variety pack of drumsticks. It's hard to compare variety with Moose Tracks. I personally really like the caramel core of this drumstick, and I like how at the very bottom, there's that hard, chunky, thick piece of chocolate that when you're done with all of it, you've eaten the whole thing, you get to the bottom, there's that little nub and you just pop it right in your mouth, and there's that dense chocolate. So I'm going with the drumsticks. Oh, but I'll do this to myself because we have strawberry ice cream, which I love, versus a Snickers ice cream bar, which I love a little bit more. I feel bad giving the axe to strawberry ice cream because I would actually eat strawberry or cherry ice cream probably any day of the week, but I have to give it to Snickers. Next is mint chip versus push-ups. Oh my god, I gotta choose mint chip. I can't even think about it. Fruit flavors are delicious, but I have to choose it. Next, we have Rocky Road versus variety drumsticks. God, I'm in pain. I'm in pain and I hurt right now, and I want to choose the variety drumsticks because of that caramel one. But is that enough? However, I have cones represented on the left side, so I'm gonna go against my better judgment, and I'm gonna choose Rocky Road. Oh, the consequences of my actions hit me always. It's between Snickers and mint chip ice cream, and you know, both are really good. A Snickers ice cream is delightful, but I could just eat a regular Snickers bar. Whereas it's not like you can get mint chip anywhere, so I'm gonna go with mint chip, even though I really like a Snicker bar. Now we have between Rocky Road and mint chip, and we've got something that has brought me comfort my whole life, which is Rocky Road, and something that I've enjoyed more in my adulthood, which is mint chip. What's had more of an impact on me over time? Probably my growth with mint chip. When you don't like something and you grow to enjoy it when you get older because you've experienced growth and you realize that that thing wasn't nasty, your taste buds just were not acclimated to it or were not ready for that type of flavor profile, that is a good character arc. So I'm going with mint chip, and now I really have to hurt myself between Choco Taco and mint chip. And you know, I really want Choco Taco to win this whole thing. I really want Choco Taco to win. That's the problem. But Choco Taco does not exist in this universe. It doesn't. It's going to be made soon, but it doesn't exist right now. It got destroyed. It got obliterated by capitalism. The same people who destroyed Borders, the same people who destroyed Radio Shack, destroyed Choco Tacos. I won't hear any debate about that. It was not millennials, and it was not Gen Z, and it was not Alpha who destroyed any of these things. It was an entirely different group of people, and I'm not going to name them, but they know who they are. Choco Tacos don't exist, so unfortunately, I really have to go with mint chip for this, purely because mint chip exists. That's what it is. I gotta go with it. That's the end. And with that, mint chip is officially the winner. I am happy with my decision, but I do want to say Choco Taco was a very close second, okay? Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what your favorite ice cream of all time is. I would love to see that. And if you have a favorite ice cream from this list, also let me know. See you on the flip. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to click that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Goodbye.